And we'll call to order the meeting of the Carson City Planning Commission this Wednesday, December 17, 2014 at 1 o'clock p.m. at the Community Center in Carson City, Nevada. Could we have, Ms. Clerk, could we have the roll call, please, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Chairperson Wendell.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Eswin.
Here.
Commissioner Castro. Commissioner Dami.
Here.
Commissioner Owens.
Here.
Commissioner Sattler. Commissioner Steele.
Here.
A quorum's present.
Thank you. Mr. Steele.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Gentlemen, you have two sets of minutes in front of you, one dated 10/29/14, the other 11/18/14. I would presume you've already read those minutes, but if there's any comment or questions, I'd like to hear them now. If not, I'd be willing to accept a motion regarding those minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for 10/29/14 and 11/18/14.
Motion made by Mr. Steele to approve the minutes as prepared. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Eswin. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Modification of agenda. It's already been indicated there is no modification of the agenda today. Disclosures. Would any member of the commission wish to explain any contact they've had with the applicant or member of the public regarding the item on the agenda or the business of the commission? Let it be noted on the record that there's no such disclosure by any commission member. Public hearing matters. Before I proceed any further, let me go back to public comments. The public is invited at this time to comment on and discuss any topic that is relevant to or within the authority of the Planning Commission, including any matter that is not, and I say that is not specifically included on the agenda as an action item. Is there anyone among the public that wishes to approach the podium and make any comment at this time? Let it be noted in the record, there's no indication that anyone from the public wishes to comment on this particular item. Public hearing matters. F-1A MPA-14-138 for possible action to adopt a resolution recommending to the Board of Supervisors approval of a master plan amendment application from Richard Langston, property owner, DRL Living Trust, to change the land use designation from Community Regional Commercial, CRC, to Industrial, I, on property located at 1588 Old Hot Springs Road, APN 008-123-23. And also F-1B, ZMA-14-137, to recommend to the Board of Supervisors approval of a zoning map amendment application from Richard Langston, property owner, DRL Living Trust, to change the zoning of property located at 1588 Old Hot Springs Road, APN 008-123-23, from Tourist Commercial, TC, to General Industrial, GI. Ms. Pansky.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Susan
Just
Dorpansky.
one moment, please.
Yes.
I think that it requires a motion to hear both items together. No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We're both related.
Again, for the record, Susan Dorpansky, Planning Manager. As you stated in your introductions, this is a request for both a master plan amendment and a zone change for property on Old Hot Springs Road. The property is located on Old Hot Springs Road where Research Way intersects it to the south, as shown on the aerial that I have exhibited up on the screen. The property is currently zoned, master planned, Community Regional Commercial, and it is zoned Tourist Commercial. And I have some other slides that show the zoning as well, but we're going to just sit on this one for a minute. This whole area here that I'm indicating with my mouse is currently zoned Tourist Commercial with a land use of the Community Regional Commercial. Many years ago, this property was intended to have some resort uses on it that the property owners at that time had specifically requested the tourist commercial zoning, knowing that the freeway was going to be going through, and hoping that there was going to be a connection at that location. However, as the freeway progressed and is now constructed in its current state, Old Hot Springs Road is completely cut off in this location. The freeway does not have an on and off ramp. It goes down to College Parkway here. So it really makes the property in this location less than desirable for a tourist commercial use. The applicant is proposing that the master plan be changed from community regional commercial to industrial, and that's what we see here on the second map. So basically the line just shifts over from the east a little bit to the west. And that is consistent with the industrial property that exists both to the east side and also to the south. And the applicant is also requesting that this property, the property zoning be changed from tourist commercial to general industrial, for the most part because, one, the access just isn't there anymore. For this property to have a good use as tourist commercial. It really has started, this area is kind of morphed into more of an industrial type of area given its limited access. So the applicant's requesting general industrial as the zoning, and that basically also shifts the line over to the west from the east. It's consistent with the limited industrial and general industrial to the east and to the south. Limited industrial exists all through the property on the south, through properties to the south, and then general industrial exists on properties to the east. Staff is recommending approval of both of these applications. We have not received any comments for or against this proposal for either, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Pensky. Do any commission members have any questions of Ms. Pensky regarding this application?
In the master plan, it's listed as industrial, and in the zoning, it's general industrial. Where does light industrial come in?
So limited industrial is an industrial zoning as well. It would fall underneath the industrial master plan in addition to the general industrial. So both, the industrial master plan would encompass both the zoning of general industrial and limited industrial.
Any other questions? Mr. Langston, can we have you approach the podium, please? Identify yourself for the record.
I'm Richard Langston, owner of the property.
All right, sir. It appears that you had an opportunity to hear the testimony of Ms. Pensky regarding this subject matter.
Yes, I have.
Do you wish to add anything to it, sir?
No, I just wanted to make a comment that, to you, Mr. Chairman, and the other commissioners here, that the Langston family has owned that property for, 70 years now. I'm the third generation, and I was brought in back in the 60s to manage the property, and so I've been here a number of years, probably 35 years anyway. And we originally started with 300 acres there. My father bought it. His father was working with him, and over the years we've sold property to Walmart and many of the properties that are there now, and generated a lot of income and taxation for the city. And we're down now to probably 50 acres or less, and this was a piece of property that really I don't think could be developed under the current tourist commercial zoning, just like Susan has mentioned. And I would agree with her and that we need the zoning change, and I'll probably sell it to someone in the light or general industrial field that would bring in some more tax base for the city. The Langston family has been a big part of the community. We built the women's cancer wing at the new hospital when it was built. And we've been very active through especially my brother Don. He's retired and he's able to be more active than I am. I'm still a working stiff at 70. So but we have been very active in the city. I have a mother 93 here, and she just adores Carson City, and which we all do. And this is our home. So I totally agree with what the zoning directors have come up with there.
All right, sir. And how many acres were there initially?
Initially, we had 300 acres.
300 acres.
Yes.
And when did your family first move here?
I flew in here with my father, who was a big builder in Las Vegas in '58. And he was building single-family homes over by the governor's mansion, the Storybook homes, and I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember that, but Garth Richards was his framing contractor, and Garth denies that now, but he was, because I remember. And I was pretty young. I was maybe 14, 15 when I first came here, and I met Doc Wyatt, who owned that property, that 300 acres, and he has a pretty colorful background, if any of you remember that. And he got in a lot of trouble and offered to sell the property to my dad. So that's kind of how that came about.
Where's Doc Wyatt now?
He died in prison
Did he?
a long time ago, yes.
I'm very familiar with Mr. Wyatt.
Are you?
Yes, sir. Having been in law enforcement here
Oh, okay.
sometime after that.
Well, you know about the shootout in Mexico then, don't you?
Right. Yes, sir. Quite colorful.
My masseuses would give him massages on his leg where he got shot and try to cut the pain down. And of course, all the governors have used the hot springs and their families for all these years. And there's a million stories, but I don't know if I should put them on the record here.
I think we'll keep him off the record at the time.
We can talk about Doc Wyatt. I think that's okay.
Right. Okay. Do any commission members have any questions of Mr. Langston regarding this application?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dami?
Yes, sir. I saw the sign there for sale
Yes, sir.
on the property. And did you get any offer for general commercial area? Somebody is looking for that one?
Well, it currently is zoned tourist commercial, so no, we have not. We have not gotten any offers for tourist commercial. We've heard a lot of scuttlebutt about if it was zoned similar to the surrounding zonings, the general industrial, that we would probably have a better chance of selling it and then somebody building on it. But currently, we don't have any offers.
Ms. Pansky, I don't see any special areas that he has to adhere to regarding this, any special conditions of any kind? None whatsoever.
No, actually, master plan amendments and zone changes are not allowed to be conditioned. It's a straight approval or denial.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Mr. Owens? Go ahead, sir.
Why general industrial instead of limited industrial?
Well, we have general industrial on the property lines to the east.
Correct, but you're butted up to the hot springs, right?
Right, which is tourist commercial.
Right, so I would think it would be a more appropriate buffer to go from the tourist into a limited industrial rather than a general industrial.
Well, I've talked to the current owners, and in fact, I sold the resort part, oh my gosh, it's been 12 or 15 years ago, to Mark Bagish. He used to be the mayor of Anchorage, and now he's a senator. He was. I think he got beat, but and offered the property to him with the light industrial, or no, the tourist commercial zoning, and he's not seeing any expansion of the business because of the limited access from the freeway. So I did go to him first, and he turned me down on that. But we have had interest in the general industrial, people saying, well, you know, we could do something with the property, we'd be interested, so I have more hope for that.
Any other questions of the commission members for Mr. Langston? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr.
All right.
Langston.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Would any member of the public wish to approach the podium and comment on this application? Let it be noted for the record that there's no indication any member of the public wishes to address this particular application. We'll bring it back to the commission for any comments, discussion, or motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion regarding the master plan amendment.
Thank you.
I move to adopt resolution number 2014-PC-3, recommending to the Board of Supervisors approval of MPA-14-138, a master plan amendment to change the land use designation of property located at 1588 Old Hot Springs Road, APN 008-123-23, from community regional commercial to industrial based on the findings contained in the staff report.
Motion is made for approval by Mr. Eswin. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Second by Mr. Steele. All in favor?
Aye.
Is that unanimous? Motion approved. It's unanimous. Mr. Eswin?
I'll make a motion concerning the zoning map amendment. I move to recommend to the Board of Supervisors approval of ZMA-14-137, a zoning map amendment to change the zoning from tourist commercial to general industrial on property located at 1588 Old Hot Springs Road, APN 008-123-23, based on the findings contained in the staff report.
We have a motion for approval from Mr. Eswin. Do we have a second? A second by Mr. Adami. All in favor? Aye.
And for the record, this will go to the board on January 15th.
All right. Was that a nay, sir?
No.
Okay. Okay, we have one no. And that no is from?
On the zoning application.
On the zoning application only. Okay. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Unless you want to stay, you're welcome to.
I want to thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for all the hard work they've done over here. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Plemmel. On the subject of staff reports.
Sure, and good afternoon again. For the record, Lee Plemmel, Community Development Director. Just to give you an update on past applications that came before the Planning Commission. It went to the board recently, the first one being the Master Plan Amendment and Zoning Map Amendment for the state lands property up Clear Creek Road. The board did not approve the Master Plan Amendment and Zoning Map Amendment. It was by a close vote, 3-2, to deny. And so that's where it stands now. I think there'll be some discussion with state lands and some supervisors on figuring out long-term. Part of their discussion was wanting to see what kind of development would occur there concurrently with approving the zoning. And there were some other concerns. So I think going forward, I think they're still looking, that the state lands is still working with the trails associations and they'll be talking to supervisors about what should be done with that property. So that's where that stands right now. Another issue that was another item that was previously before the Planning Commission for a special use permit for the Herman Bauer special use permit on Ann Street Division. That was for the 2 fourplexes within the historic district that the Planning Commission approved the special use permit at the Historic Resource Commission at their December meeting denied the application. I don't think it was unanimous. That was not.
It was 6-1.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was a 6-1 denial. And I'm going to not going to discuss that further at this time. I think that that's still within the appeal period. We think it might be appealed to the Board of Supervisors, so I don't want to say too much about it right now, but we'll keep you updated on that. And on a non-Planning Commission related item, the request for proposals for the Carson Street downtown Carson Street project design team is out right now. Actually, submittals from design firms are due tomorrow. We expect to select a design team in January and bring that to the Board of Supervisors in February. That's staying on track to get into more detailed design work throughout 2015. And in terms of future agenda items, the deadline for the January meeting, because this is an early meeting of the month, the deadline for next month is actually tomorrow, so we don't have any applications in right now, but we do expect to have a couple special use permits and maybe zone change coming in, but we'll get that information out. And we do expect to have things come in and have a meeting in January. Do you have anything else to add? Update? That's our report.
Thank you, Mr. Plemmel. Any commission member have any report or comments or any desire for any particular item they want on future agenda? Let it be noted on the record, there was no such response from the commission members regarding that subject matter. For the public is invited this time to comment on and discuss any topic that is relevant to or within the authority of the Planning Commission, including any matter that is not specifically included on the agenda as an action item. It appears we have one individual here with representing the public, and there doesn't appear to be any indication that he wishes to address this subject matter. Moving on to possible action for adjournment. Consideration for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion made by Mr. Eswin for adjournment. Do we have a second?
Second that.
We have a second by Mr. Steele. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It appears unanimous. Thank you.